Welcome back to BattleLore 2nd Edition. We're playing with all the expansion units for this playthrough. And so we're going to begin. The Diccon go first because their setup card is a C2. And we're playing the Uthik, and ours is a D3. So C is before D in the alphabet. So the Diccon will be going first. And the first thing we do on the main phase is a command step, which means play a command card. So the Diccon are going to play a card, and they are going to play Battle March. It says order 3 units that are not weak. Well, all units, of course, are at full strength right now. So he's going to order 3 units that are not weak. And so we're going to zoom down on the board. And I will be using, once again, the little mini dice to designate which units are going to be activated and moving so that I can keep track of what's going on. So let's go down to the board and choose 3 units to activate for the order step. All right, down here in the lower left-hand corner of the board, we're going to be activating, or the Diccon will be activating their giant unit, the Siege Golem. They will also be activating the Ruin Golems here. So that's 2. We have 1 more to activate. We're going to have to go to the other side of the board for that. And on the right-hand side of the board, they will be activating these Citadel Guards. And that's going to be the 3 units they will be activating. Up next in the main phase is the move step. So each ordered unit can move its up to its movement value. And since we're sitting here zoomed in on the Citadel Guards, let's take a look at their card and see what they can do for movement. And for movement for them, they have a movement value of 2, so they're allowed to go 2 spaces, of course, keeping in mind the restrictions on spaces. So they're going to move 2, and so they will move 1, 2 into the forest here, which of course conveniently has a victory point marker in there, so that will net them a victory point. And then they would be able to attack if they were adjacent to any enemy units, but of course they are not. So I'm just going to remove the die so we know they've taken their turn. Okay, up next, let's go to the other side of the board and we will move. I guess we should do the attack step last, so for the actual order of things, we should be moving and then doing attacking, but they can't attack, so I just took it off there. I want to keep things out of order, but I just did that for convenience sake. Let's go to the other 2 units. That will be alright. So the other 2 units here, we have the Golems. What the heck were they called again? Crystal Golems, Ruin Golems. Got Golems all over the place. The Ruin Golems. Let's take a look at their card very quickly here for movement, and as you can see, they also have a movement of 2, and they're melee, so they have to be adjacent to enemies to attack them. They will move 2 spaces, and they're going to move right here onto this victory point marker to claim it during the victory step. And again, I'll remove the die because they cannot attack anybody. Nobody is adjacent to them. Not going to happen. Now for our next activation for movement. So this is all during the move step. The Siege Golem is not going to move at all, because we want it to attack. And you're thinking, well, how can it attack from so far behind enemy lines? Well, it's because it has this awesome range of 2 to 6. And other units don't block line of sight, but terrain blocks line of sight for the Siege Golem. It will be rolling 4 dice for attack. Well, which unit is it going to attack? I'm going to have to zoom out, and we'll have a look at that. All right, so I can just get it in range here with the camera. So it is now the attack step of the main phase. So of course Ruin Golems couldn't attack, neither could the Citadel Guards. Our Siege Golem can attack, so it's going to be shooting all the way across the board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away to the Blood Harvesters. And it's going to be rolling 4 dice, so we're going to say it is going to attack now. It's going to be rolling 4 dice, and I do have a dice tower which I think I'm going to use for this playthrough. So we're going to throw the dice tower down here, and we're going to roll 4 dice for that attack. And we will see what we get. So the single swords don't do anything because this is not a melee attack, it's ranged. The special symbol will do something, and the unit have to retreat 1 space. So the Blood Harvesters, I know they're just off the screen here, they will have to back up 1 space for retreat. They're being barraged. Now let's take a look at this special symbol and see what it means. What it means is it is barrage, so we're going to use it cause 1 damage to an enemy unit adjacent to the target unit. Well, the Doombringer was adjacent to the target unit, and I don't believe the Doombringer has any special defense. It only has the immobilized non-legend units, so it doesn't have anything it can do for defense. So it's going to take a damage. It only has 5 hit points. And so we've drawn First Blood. So I'm going to put a damage marker associated with the Doombringer. So we've managed to, or the Diccon managed to barrage us from across the way, making our Blood Harvesters retreat 1 and doing 1 damage to the Doombringer Beetle. So that's the end of the main phase for Diccon. Now we're to the upkeep phase, Victory Point. So we gain victory points for occupying hexes that contain banner markers and for resolving any scenario-specific victory points. All right, so I might have to zoom out a little bit just to see this, but it says during order step up. Victory point. Gain a victory point if friendly units occupy more hexes in the center section than enemy units. Well, let's zoom out and have a look. All right, I can barely get everything in here. So for victory point markers, we have 1 that is sitting with the Citadel Guards, and we also have 1 over here with the Siege Golems. That's 2 victory points. And the Diccon right now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units in the center area. We, the Uthik, only have 1, 2, 3, and 4. They get another victory point for that because they do have more units in the center than we do. So that's 3 victory points on the first turn. That's not too good for us because we are playing the Uthik. So they're going to get 3 victory points on their way to 16. So that's First Blood. All right, I think we're going to do, for each episode, I'm going to do Diccon and then Uthik, which is us. So up next, the Uthik, us, or me playing them. Well, let's see what we can do to counteract that little bit of point gathering. And yes, of course, before we do any of that, we have to continue on with the Diccon turn. They have a draw step. They get to draw 1 command card from the command deck. Well, we're not going to see what it is, so of course they get that. And then, of course, we're into the lore step. So they get to resolve 1 of the following. They can gain 2 lore tokens, gain a lore token and draw a lore card, or draw 2 lore cards and keep 1. They are going to go ahead and take 2 lore tokens for themselves. So I don't know what they've got cooking, but we'll find out later, I suppose. All right, that now will end the Diccon turn. Sorry about that. And now let's go into the Uthik turn and see what we can do. All right, can't get the whole board in. I'd have to zoom out so much, but let's do the Uthik turn. Up first is command step from the main phase. We're going to play a command card, and these are the 4 command cards we have. We have BattleLore, Clash of Steel, Surround 2 and 2, and 3 on the left. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to play our BattleLore card. I know it's pretty powerful, but let's go ahead and play it. It basically says you roll 4 dice and you apply the following. So let's go ahead and roll our 4 dice and see what we're going to get. So we're going to use the dice tower again. We're going to roll 4 dice. And we're going to apply the effects. So we got a whole bunch of different symbols here, which means we're probably going to be able to activate a bunch of different things. So we're going to have any sword, double sword, or bullseye activate 1 infantry or cavalry. So that's infantry, cavalry. The special or the retreat, order a legend or an elite. Okay, so we can order a legend or elite. So regular, legend, elite. And the lore is gain 3 lore. Wow, that's pretty awesome for us. Of course, we're going to have to then reshuffle all the cards after, but let's not worry about that right now. So we're going to gain 3 lore. That puts us a total of 5 lore. That's pretty awesome for being able to play cards later. So 5 lore for the lore die. And this one we can order in elite or a legend unit. I think we're going to order our Doom Beetle, and That's over on the far right. So let's go ahead. We'll stick a die on that. All right, so over in the far right, we have our wounded Doom Beetle. We will be activating our Doom Beetle this turn, the legendary unit. Okay, that takes care of the flag die. And now we can order cavalry or infantry. So let's go back to around the center of the board, I think. And we're going to be activating an infantry and or cavalry, or one of each, or two of each. So right, I think the two regular are cavalry or regular units for these dice that we're going to activate. We're going to activate our Viper archers and our Flesh Rippers down here. So that's going to be our 3 units that we're going to activate. And now it's the move step. And so since we're right here, I'm going to move, our Vipers can move 2. I guess we can take a look at their cards to make sure everything's up on the level here, so they can move 2 spaces, our Viper Legions, and we're going to move them up on top of this hill, 3 of them. So that's them. They will still get to attack. And our Flesh Ripper Brutes have a speed of 3, they're a cavalry unit, so these 2 dice are good. They can move 3, and we're going to have them go 1, 2, 3 up on top of this victory point marker. Now I will remove their die. They're not adjacent to any enemies. They will not be able to attack, so they will be skipping the attack phase. And let's go over and move our big bad guy, our Doom Beetle. Doombringer Beetle. So let's go over there and have him move. He has a movement speed of 3. So yeah, we take a look at that. He's pretty fast. 3, and he has burrow, so he can just go through any terrain without any problem. So let's take a look and see what he's going to do. All right, so our Doom Beetle here is going to move. He can move 3, and he just burrows under anything. So normally you go into a forest, you have to stop movement. He doesn't have to because he has that burrow ability. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 right here into the face of the Rune Golems. And that's going to take us, that's the move step. Now we're going to do the attack step. And so I'll get the camera adjusted. Let's do the Doom Beetle first for our attack step. And all right, our Doom Beetle here going to be attacking the Rune Golems. Let's take a look at our Doombringer Beetle card again. It's pretty awesome. It gets 3 attack dice. It has Devour, cause 1 damage to a target unit if it's infantry or cavalry. I don't believe the Rune Golems are infantry or cavalry. They're elite melee, so the special die is not going to come into effect, but maybe we can do some damage over there. And it has the burrow and immobilize. So these guys are not going to be able to move, or which ones? Sorry, non-legend enemy units adjacent to this unit cannot move during your opponent's move step. Okay, well the Rune Golems won't be able to move, but they'll probably attack anyway. So let's go ahead. We're going to be rolling 4 dice. So we're going to get out our little dice tower again here. We're going to roll 4 dice. We're going to see what we get. All right, well, that's all pretty good. And we weren't going to use any ruin cards or lore cards because we don't need. So that's 2 attacks. So we're going to do 2 hits to the Rune Golems, destroying them. So that's pretty awesome. And I forgot, we were supposed to, because of the BattleLore card, we're supposed to shuffle the BattleLore deck except for the BattleLore cards. So I'm just going to do that right now before I forget. So there, that's done. Taken care of. All right, we've destroyed 2 of the golems. We do have the special ability, but this is not, it's an elite unit. So it doesn't get to damage a target unit because they're not infantry or cavalry. So that won't take effect. However, this is going to give us a lore. So now we have a total of 6 lore, which is really good because, yeah, I like that effect. Okay, 6 lore. That's going to end the attack for our Doom Beetle. And we have 1 more attack to perform, and that's the Archer attack for our Viper Legion. All right, and we have our Viper Legion here. They have a range, I believe we have a range of 3, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check them. As I flip through all the cards, we are playing with every unit, base units, and the expansion units. So yeah, we have a range of 1 to 4. So wow, that gives me another idea. And we have, of course, the Viper Bite, which can put poison onto a unit. So we have a range of 4. I think we're going to fire right at these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear line of sight. Oh, of course, you can't see it. A clear line of sight from here to the cavalry units, and they are called not Riverwatch Riders. They are the Citadel Lancers. Cavalry Knight Melees. Sorry, so we're going to attack them. We're only rolling 2 dice, so not exactly a huge amount of dice, but if any retreats, they're going to take a damage because they can't retreat anywhere. So let's roll the 2 dice. Let's see what we get. Well, okay, not bad. We get a lore, so we're going to gain another lore, giving us a total of 7 lore now. That's huge. And we have the special, which means we can poison them. And I believe that is this token, the poison token. So these guys are poisoned. So they're either going to be taking damage in future turns, or they can spend 2 lore to get rid of the poison token. All right, that's pretty cool. And just to double check that so we don't mess it up. A Viper Bite, poison the target unit. Each lore result produced during a combat roll against a poison unit may be committed to cause a damage. Well, we can cause a damage instead of getting that lore. When a player orders a poisoned unit, he may spend 2 lore to remove the poison token from the unit's hex. And I believe that can be done immediately. So we're going to remove that lore from our pile. So we're not going to use it for that. We're going to use it to damage these guys. So we're going to take one of them out of the picture. So that was not a bad turn for us so far. Let's zoom out and continue on with the upkeep phase. All right, we're going to be going to the upkeep phase, and I apologize. I can't seem to quite get everything in the camera because the board is too wide for me to be able to do that. However, we've got first blood. Well, our second blood because our Doombringer has been hit, but we've done quite a bit of damage so far. But we're now into the upkeep phase. So we're into the victory point step. And we're going to have to check our card to see what we get for victory points. Gain a victory point unless an enemy unit occupies either of the blood field hexes outlined in red. While our blood field hexes are not occupied by enemy units, that's going to give us 1 victory point. And we also have our Flesh Ripper Brutes on a banner for another victory point. So we're going to end up getting 2 victory points, which is not as much as 3, but we want to at least not have the lead of the Diccon get too far ahead. So 2 victory points for us, 3 for the Diccon so far. And up next is the draw step. So we get to draw another lore card. So we've shuffled and everything because of that. And we have counterattack. Play this copy of the command card your opponent played last turn. Follow the instructions in the card as though you played it, reversing any sections, i.e. left section becomes right and right section becomes left. I think I played this wrong in another playthrough. You have to remember that we do reverse the left and right sides on the card. I didn't do that in the last playthrough, so I'm going to try and remember this time. And now we're into the lore step. So we can resolve one of the following. We can gain 2 lore tokens. We can gain a lore token, draw a lore card, or we can draw 2 lore cards and keep 1. Well, we have 6 lore right now. I think we're going to go and we're going to take 1 lore and draw 1 card. So we get a lore token. That takes us to 7. And we're going to draw the top card off our lore deck and see what we get. Predator. Play during your move step. Choose an ordered unit. Then roll 4 dice for each sword or double sword result produced by this roll. The chosen unit may move 1 additional hex. Oh, wow. That is unbelievably cool. I love it. That's a good one. It only costs us 2 lore, so we can have a unit moving an incredible distance. I really like that. Okay, that was the lore step. That's going to be the end of basically our episodes. We've had the Diccon go first. We, the Uthik, have gone second. Just to recap, so the Diccon have 2 lore tokens. They have 3 victory points. We have 7 lore tokens and 2 victory points. So we're behind in the victory points, but ahead in the lore by quite a bit. And this is BattleLore 2nd Edition. We're playing with all the expansion units. And we got to somehow try to figure out how to crush these Diccon forces. And I don't think I mentioned, but the Diccon also have the command tent in play. So if we can capture this, it would give us 2 victory points. So that's something for us to keep in mind, and it's up in the upper left corner over here. So that's BattleLore 2nd Edition with the expansion. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your subscriptions, your likes, your comments. Very much appreciated. So join me next time for the continuation of BattleLore using all of the expansions. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. All right, that's at the end of the episode. I apologize. I keep forgetting the counter attacks. I've done it in the other playthroughs. I don't know why. I think because the summary of turn does not say, process counterattack. So I keep forgetting that step. So the Ruin Golems, though they are damaged, do get to counterattack against our Doom Beetle. And they roll 3 dice. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to process that counterattack. So get out the dice tower again. I'm going to put that down here. They are going to be rolling 3 dice as a counterattack. And we will see what they get. So their counterattack, they get 2 ranged, which they're melee, so that does nothing. But they do cause 1 more damage to our Doombringer Beetle. And so our Doombringer Beetle now has 2 damage on it. So I apologize for missing that, but I did catch it at least in editing. So thanks so much for watching along. Join me next time for the continuation of BattleLore 2nd Edition.